This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Anjana Lianarachi and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Foreign Minister assured that the country would continue the local mechanisms to achieve reconciliation in spite of any resolutions passed by the UNHRC. Pakistan, China speak out in support of the Sri Lanka at the UNHRC. Rumpus at anti-LTTE fast in Jaffna. Cabinet allocates 69 million rupees to import Sputnik V vaccines from Russia. Treasure collection for Sandahira Stupa ends on the 27th of March. We move on to local news in detail. Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena assured that the country would continue with the local mechanisms to achieve reconciliation and development for people regardless of any resolutions passed by the United Nations Human Rights Council against Sri Lanka. He also assured that the country would continue to work closely with the UNHRC, the United Nations, as well as all the other friendly countries. He gave this assurance during a press conference held yesterday afternoon at the Foreign Ministry Auditorium. Minister Gunawardena also pointed out that the UNHRC cannot work against the United Nations Charter. The minister said the government rejects the report submitted by the UNHRC High Commissioner as it is based on completely unjust and incorrect statistics. He also pointed out that resolutions could not be passed targeting one country according to the United Nations Charter. He added that Sri Lanka pointed out that attention should be drawn to the global COVID-19 pandemic at this juncture. He pointed out that Sri Lanka has guaranteed the rights of all citizens living in the country. The draft resolution brought against Sri Lanka by the United Nations Human Rights Council has failed to condemn the crimes committed by the LTTE against Sri Lankan people, Pakistan says. The Pakistani representative stated this speaking before the vote on the UNHRC draft resolution on promoting reconciliation, accountability and human rights in Sri Lanka. The United Nations Human Rights Council on Tuesday adopted the draft resolution against Sri Lanka tabled at the Council by the core group. Of the 47 states that took part in the vote in Geneva, 22 member states voted in favor of the resolution and 11 had voted against. A total of 14 member states abstained from voting. Pakistan, voting against the resolution, stated that the resolution shies away from a call for accountability of LTTE and its sponsors and financiers. The representatives pointed out that the draft resolution appears to rekindle the sufferings rather than healing the wounds of the people of Sri Lanka. China, also voting against the resolution, claimed that the resolution disregards the efforts and achievements by the Sri Lankan government to promote and protect human rights, ignores the wishes of the Sri Lankan people, and interferes in Sri Lanka's internal affairs under the guise of human rights and disrupts the excellent situation of Sri Lanka's development and stability. Sri Lanka says it considers the UNHRC's latest resolution against the island nation to be unwarranted, unjustified, and in violation of the relevant articles of the UN Charter, and also rejected the unprecedented proposal in the resolution to expand the role of the OHCHR. This was stated by the permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations Office at Geneva, C.A. Chandraprema, while delivering remarks before the vote on the draft resolution. He said it is deeply regrettable that a group of countries have tabled a country-specific resolution against Sri Lanka in spite of Sri Lanka's consistent and constructive engagement in the Human Rights Council and with the proponents of the resolution themselves. A group of protesters in Jaffna who were demanding justice to those who were abducted and murdered by the LTTE and other armed Tamil organizations clashed when instructed to bring the protests to an end. A clash took place between the two factions on the 22nd of March at Nallur in Jaffna. The protesters who engaged in a fast had asked the individual who arrived with a letter from the Jaffna mayor if it was a court order. Thereafter, a heated argument was initiated and finally turned to a clash. Police who arrived took action to separate the two factions, and those engaged in the fast said the people have the right to engage in a protest regarding any matter. The persons engaged in the fast said that the protest could not be halted unless there was a court order, and also mentioned that an individual who organized a protest in Mannar going against the Jaffna mayor's orders had been named as an accused person. At this fast organized by the association relatives of persons murdered and missing due to the activities of the Tiger organization and armed Tamil organizations, they said that Tamil political parties had not submitted any information to the Geneva Human Rights Commission about persons killed by armed Tamil organizations and missing persons. It was said that as a result, the association launched this fast to draw the attention of Geneva. The cabinet endorsed today an allocation of 69 million rupees to import 7 million Sputnik V vaccines from Russia, a top source said. The Health Ministry had sought cabinet approval for this purpose. Sputnik V vaccine is developed by Russia and has an efficacy rate of more than 90%. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life.
Continuing with more stories here at home. Devotees are now arriving at the Sandhiru Stupa in response to the recent announcement signifying the arrangements set up to collect treasures, since the plans are afoot to deposit those at the Sandhiru Stupa square chamber. Gathering of devotees around the collection centre has been seen along with their precious artifacts at the venue since the 20th of March. The collection centre is especially open for families of fallen war heroes to offer treasures, if any, in memory of their beloved ones. This rare opportunity is available for devotees around the country to offer their treasures until the 27th of March, since the trove of treasures will be deposited on the upcoming Poya Day on the 28th of March amidst religious blessings. Thereafter, the erection of the square chamber and the conical spire will commence. Sri Lanka has confirmed another 142 fresh cases of the novel coronavirus in the country. This brings the total number of COVID-19 confirmed in the country thus far to 90,765. Presently, 2,907 patients infected with the virus are being treated at hospitals, while total recoveries has reached 87,306. The death toll due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country stands at 552. An 18-hour water cut will be experienced in several areas of Kaluthura today, stated the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. Accordingly, the water cut will be in effect from 8 a.m. in the morning until 2 p.m. in the afternoon today. The National Water Supply and Drainage Board stated that the water cut is due to maintenance work in the Kaluthura Alvis Place Reservoir area. The interruption to the water supply will affect the Kaluthura South, Kaluthura North, Wadua, Hikkadua, Potupitiya, Molligoda and Morandotua areas. That's on local news.
Introducing Speed Investment with Sri Lanka Insurance, the only insurance policy that increases your sum assured by 5% every year for the same premium amount. You also get a bonus payment at maturity. What better plan to have when you can invest now and relax later? The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life. Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. SLBC, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. SLBC, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by SLBC Vidya Mahatmya.
Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga said there was no truth in the news that was circulating in social media and other media platforms to the effect that she was plotting to bring her son to politics. A statement she had made during an interview with a YouTube channel who had been misquoted and it was being used by social media, she said in a statement. Ms. Kumaratunga said she had never made any such statement and added that what she meant was if the youth came forward to rescue the country, her son would also make his contribution and she had no objection to it.
The main news story was brought to you by SLBC Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from SLBC.
And on Watchlight, thousands of farming families are affected by the rising crocodile population in the Kirindioya Lower Valley and the Yodavava main canals. People are terrified of crocodiles coming to the banks of the canal. The chairman of the Kirindioya Farmers Association, Jaliaguda, says that these crocodiles sometimes come to homes. This is for the attention of Yala wildlife officers.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has claimed a huge win for the right in Israel's fourth election in 2 years. Colorado officials have identified the gunman and 10 victims who were killed in a mass shooting inside a grocery store. Vladimir Putin has been vaccinated against COVID-19. World News in detail. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has claimed a huge win for the right in Israel's fourth election in 2 years, though exit polls suggest he may fail to secure a majority in parliament. Mr. Netanyahu's Likud party and its allies are projected to get 53 of 54 seats in the 120-seat Senate. Parties opposed to the Prime Minister staying in office look set to win 59. Colorado officials have identified the gunman and 10 victims aged between 20 and 65 years old who were killed in a mass shooting inside a grocery store. The attack at a King's supermarket in Boulder ended when police arrested the lone suspect after exchanging gunfire. Police have not confirmed a motive. The suspect faces 10 counts of murder. Finally, on World News, Vladimir Putin has been vaccinated against COVID-19 partly to encourage other Russians who remain deeply reluctant to get the jab. Although he has previously been filmed on horseback, ice skating and flying with Siberian cranes, he chose to be vaccinated behind closed doors. The Kremlin has not specified which vaccine Mr. Putin received. That's on World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
The national war to cultivate barren paddy lands begins tomorrow. The cultivation of 28,000 acres of fallow paddy lands belonging to 320 agrarian service centres for the Yalla season will commence tomorrow, said Minister Mahindananda Alutkamage.
Development News was brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
And on sports news, today is the fourth day of the first Test cricket match between the touring Sri Lankan team and the West Indies cricket team in Antigua. Batting first, Sri Lanka was 255 for 4 at the end of the day. Sri Lanka were bowled out for 169 in the first innings. West Indies were bowled out for 271 in their first innings.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
And on business news, SoftLogic Holdings subsidiary Odell PLC has entered into an agreement with the Urban Development Authority to lease, operate and manage Arcade Independence Square for a period of 10 years, commencing from the 1st of April 2021, with an option to renew for a further 10-year period subject to terms and conditions of the lease agreement. Odell said it intends to operate and manage Arcade Independence Square premises as a luxury boutique experience destination, adding its cluster of operating and managing high-end shopping malls in the country.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on economic news, a program to increase the production of small export crops and increase productivity will be launched. According to the Department of Export Agriculture, the expected income from export crops in the next 2 years is 10 billion rupees. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, cocoa, coffee, betel and areca nut and 72,900 rupees, or rather 72,900 million rupees last year. That's on economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Department of Meteorology said that showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamu, Western, Northwestern, Central and North Central provinces and in Gola and Matara districts during the evening or night today. Fairly heavy falls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in Sabarkamur, western and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Matara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota district. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines. Foreign Minister assured that the country would continue the local mechanisms to achieve reconciliation in spite of any resolutions passed by the UNHRC. Pakistan, China speak out in support of Sri Lanka at UNHRC. Rumpus at anti-LTTE fast in Jaffna. Cabinet allocates 69 million rupees to import Sputnik vaccines from Russia. Treasure collection for Sandhahiru Stupa ends on the 27th of March. And with that we conclude the morning bulletin of news, and it's back to Vienna this morning.